Hello, friends. Thank you for your patience as I have solved my time zone problem. So the time went back some places and didn't others, and we delayed this conversation because of a birth. And anyway, here we are. We made it. And I'm so excited to visit with midwife Alice. Before we add her in, just a reminder to midwives, take good care of yourself, really have a self-care ritual, pick something you do the first thing you get out of bed that is grounding and nourishing. Don't get exhausted. We need you too much. I am in Perth, Australia. It's just almost 6 a.m. here, and the catbirds are just starting to call. They really sound like cats. It's totally amazing. And I am so enjoying my conversations with midwives around the globe. We've had some really great conversations and some new ones to come. We have Mexico and Japan coming up tomorrow, so look forward to that. Big hello and big wave to all my birth peeps around the world. It's really a crazy time that we all live in. So take good care of yourselves. Make time to have FaceTimes with the people that you love. Drink plenty of water. Eat good, yummy food for you. Go to bed early. Really nourish yourself. This is a crazy time. And wellness really depends on having a lot of resources. And so don't deplete your resources, actually spend time filling them. Alrighty, so let's see if we can bring our lovely midwife Alice in to have a little conversation about what birth is like in Italy right now. So let's see if I can do that. Glad we made it. That's fantastic. Hi, friend.
Can you hear me?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can hear you
having
well.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you? Where are you? How are you? Tell us the story.
I'm good. I'm home. I'm in Brighton, where I live, in the UK, in the south, nearby the sea. And yeah, it's a bit crazy, everything here.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes, it's very confusing. I feel like being Italian, I can see the future somehow. I really hope it's not.
Yeah.
But I'm in touch with my family and friends, obviously, in Italy, and my colleagues there. I've got so many friends. They are midwives there and doulas, so I'm in contact with them as well. And it has been a bit frustrating at the beginning to see here they weren't, I think, taking it as seriously as they should, but now they are.
Yeah.
So yeah. We still haven't got the perception of the full thing here, I think. Although we do have a lot of people, they have the disease at the moment, but yeah, it's not. We're not in the epicenter yet, so we're lucky. We've got time. We're getting organized. Yeah, it's a time of be grounded and just be aware and just be calm. I think.
Well, so you are in Brighton, in the south of England, and you work as a midwife there, yeah?
Yes, I do. I'm mainly, I've been working in pretty much a lot of different settings in my life. And now I am mainly doing home births. So I'm a home birth midwife.
I see.
In Brighton. I do sometimes go into the hospital if I have to, but mainly my setting is community now.
Wow, that's awesome. So what is the midwifery leadership in England saying about where women should birth? Are they encouraging them to stay home?
Yeah.
Or are we seeing a move towards hospital? What's the leadership saying about birth where you are?
So at the moment, specifically, I can tell in England is different. So it's the whole UK.
Yeah.
They're doing different things. But mainly, I know some trust in London. I'm in contact with some colleagues in London. They had to suspend the home birth service because they thought they haven't got the resources to provide it. Because a lot of people, they think they will be off sick, or self-isolated, so they don't think they will have the resource to sustain the home birth. In Brighton, we're very lucky. I work in one of the areas in the UK. I think it's the area where we have the highest rate of home births. We are in Brighton City, we're about sometimes almost 10% of the home births, of the whole births, which is a very high percentage. When I was in London, it was 1%. So it's a huge.
Say that percentage again. How much? 3?
Less than 1. So in Brighton,
less than 1. Okay.
Yeah. So my trust is a big trust, and we do have rural areas. So including the rural areas, we do have something about maybe 4.8%. But then the town of Brighton itself is about, some months is up to 10%. So it's quite a lot. So but to stay home is the idea for the people that already are used to it, yeah? Yes, and the trust is what we're trying to do is we would like to have as many women to be assessed at home. And then we will try to provide our community midwives that are doing visits with a basic home birth assessment kit, so that they can go and assess women at home. And then if they are in established labor, they can choose to stay, or they can go in the hospital, but at least this will decrease the number of people going into the hospital to be assessed and then maybe be sent home because they're not dancing yet, you know. So we are trying to do that.
That's brilliant.
We have to see what happens. Obviously, we don't know if we're going to be able to keep this rhythm. As I said, it hasn't kicked off yet, so we are not seeing the effort. Although I think this Friday, today, they closed the schools. So I think we will start to see now the effort on the staff as well, but we haven't had a big difference. We do have an increased number of women, they are requesting home births, even women they would have never considered a home birth before, but now they are, which is brilliant. I mean, I hope that making that step backward, we can go forward. So going back to nature, to normal. I think.
Yeah, I saw a meme on Facebook that was really funny. It said that that finally home birth and homeschooling are mainstream.
Yeah, amazing.
They're smart choices, right?
Yeah,
I know. It's like
suddenly
it shifted.
Yeah, it's shifting, and I'm glad in a way, because hopefully it will stay like that. Who knows? After all of these women, they will be more empowered, they will trust more their bodies, their ability to give birth without anything, just their own strength. That's it. And this is all they need. So hopefully we're going to be able to provide. I've been hearing a lot about women all over the world, and I think in England women are really, really lucky because we have the NHS. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to in England, is because there's a real freedom of choice with women, because they don't have to pay to have a home birth. So women can choose, you know, because they want to and not because they have to. So this is real freedom. So in England,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. Really proud of the service we offer here. I think we are. It's really good. And women are really lucky. I guess, you know, speaking with my colleagues in the States and my doula's friends in the States and my friends in the States, for example, or even in Italy, this is impossible. So I'm feeling for these women now. They're very scared of hospitals and they have to go because they haven't got any other option at the moment, which is really sad. out.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it is. Well, thank
yeah.
you for that clarity. Can you tell us now, if we switch over to the country of Italy, can you tell us what you're hearing from your colleagues, where it's really not good? Are women staying home? Because of course pregnancies keep happening and labors keep happening and midwives need to keep working. So we've heard some reports that in Italy, women would show up to hospital even in labor and be sent home because the labor wards have been converted to COVID wards. What's happening? Do you know?
So it's very different from country to country. So from region to region. I am not sure what's happening in the north at the moment. Unfortunately, I've tried to ask around because I knew I was, I would have talked to you, so I wanted to find out, but I couldn't really understand. Mixed different informations. The information I gathered is that there are now, so it's different from every hospital. There are hospitals, they are allowing partners with a woman. Other hospitals, they're not letting anyone in labor with women. Some hospitals, they are separating, if the woman is positive, they are separating mom and baby at birth for 2 weeks and not allowing them to breastfeed, which is against the guidelines. But this is what, it's terrible. I can't even imagine how it goes. But this is what's happening. And also I know there are some hospitals, they do have a special COVID maternity ward. So they are trying to open a space for women with coronavirus to be there and give birth there, so that women, they haven't got the coronavirus, they haven't been diagnosed with coronavirus, they can give birth more freely without all the restrictions, apply to the case, so they can have their partners. In some hospitals, I know they let only one person with a woman, and then these people, they have to self-isolate afterwards. So maybe the woman can give birth, but then with the partner, and then the partner has to self-isolate for 2 weeks. So it's not allowed to see his family, their family.
Crazy.
Yeah. I just feel like,
my God, there's so much trauma that's going to happen from this.
And I do understand, I mean, obviously, seeing what's happening in Italy, I understand that, birth at the end of the day is a natural process. So obviously, maybe it's not in their priority now. They have to protect the rest of the population. But I feel for these women, and I also feel for the midwives, because I can't imagine as a midwife attending a birth in these conditions and having to be screened completely from the woman, not being able to touch, to support. Midwives can be very physical in the way we support women as well. We are very present, holding the space for a woman in mask and gloves and glasses and all the protection. It will be, it's so hard.
So hard. And then taking a baby away from its mama, like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I cannot even imagine.
And do we know why this started? Because the World Health Organization is saying that breast milk is not transmitting it.
Yeah, I guess every trust is free to apply their own guidelines in Italy. So they can they can acknowledge the World Health Organization protocol guidelines, but then they will still apply what they think is right. So obviously there isn't much literature on the topic, so I don't know. Just do what is right. But
well, I think I'm sure everyone's doing the very best they can. So we'll just send lots of love to them. And during this hard time, I can't imagine being a midwife right now there. And I feel for them. Do you think the home birth rate has increased in Italy?
Yes, I know there are so many women, they're now asking and requesting more home births for sure. I heard as well of more
Yeah.
free births,
Yeah.
because some women cannot, you know, they don't have the possibility to have independent midwife. I know that
Yeah.
many colleagues, they are, you know, trying to help women as the best as they can, economically as well. So trying to find a solution
Yeah.
to guarantee, you know, a decent birth to these poor women. They have to otherwise go in the hospital at risk of being separated from their children. But still, it isn't a national service. So obviously, it's harder. But
It's much harder. Yeah.
much harder. Here in England, I know we are applying the RCOG, which is the Royal College of Gynae and Obstetrics, has advised to follow the World Health Organization guidelines. So we are going to keep women, mom and baby, together, and they will be allowed to breastfeed if mom is positive to the coronavirus. Just she will have to wear the mask.
The mask, that's what I've been reading too. Yeah, and we have a midwife in the US who's also sharing that right now in our messaging, that it's the mother's respiratory droplets that can infect the baby, not really the breast milk. And so, how do we protect the baby against that? So all good questions. Well, so in the region where you're from, in a different part of Italy, what are you hearing from your colleagues there? What's changing?
Well, I guess they struggle a lot with the numbers of people they are working in the hospital, and I have seen pictures of my colleagues and obstetricians as well, completely dressed with the full PPE protection to go and attend women. They're giving birth, and I guess it's what I said really, like in terms of midwives, you mean, or
just anything, like what is the situation?
Well, is what I said really. So women are being separated, like, and they have to go and give birth on their own most of the time. They're not allowing doulas in the wards either. They're not allowing partners most of the time. And it depends. I think also it's quite scary because there is no one way to do things. So women are getting very confused. So are the midwives, because there isn't a national protocol, and so there's a lot of fear. I feel the problem is fear. That's the real problem. Of course, being separated from your baby at birth is a big thing and it's horrible, but I think the main thing is now fear, like midwives are not able to do face-to-face consultations anymore. They can't do they cannot support the women in the way they want. So I know a lot of them, they're getting organized with online face-to-face consultation and antenatal classes, but a lot of the independent midwives, they're not allowed in the wards anymore. If the woman has to go in the hospital, so I think fear is what.
So the community midwives can't work in the hospital because they're community.
We haven't got community. We haven't got community midwives in Italy. So in Italy, the systems works slightly different. So we do have hospital midwives and antenatal and postnatal midwives in the hospital. Most of the antenatal care is done by the obstetrician privately, although this is changing. Thankfully, a lot of midwives are now starting to follow up pregnancies as well. But mainly all the all the community care is done by independent midwives. I see. If the independent midwives is allowed in the hospital, if the woman has to go in the hospital, it depends on the hospital. So some hospitals, they welcome them, and some others, they don't. yeah, is this. So that's why I say it's hard in Italy because every place is different. We haven't got, it's not very, there isn't a national policy or guideline.
Yeah, we have the same problem in US. I understand. Well, so what are you personally doing to prepare these days? What kind of protocols or policies are coming down that are changing the way that you care? Obviously, we're shifting away from face-to-face visits. That's one thing.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
So I just received today an email from my managers saying that they are putting in, so they're changing the way we do antenatal care now. So pregnant women have been advised to limit the contact. We are not on lockdown in England yet. So people are still allowed to go out, although elderlies and pregnant women, they are advised to stay home as much as they can. And just essential appointments. So antenatal care is considered essential appointments. But we do have 2 plans in place. We have a plan A and a plan B. The plan B, we don't know when it's going to happen, but the plan A will happen from, I think next week. And basically, we're going to try to do some phone consultation. So general informations like healthy, lifestyle, all these kind of things that can be done at the phone. And we will start to follow them. Obviously, we will have to see them for the bloods and the dating scan. I know they will shift from the combined test to the quadruple test because we're going to do it at 16 weeks. So they're going to have done in once. And then from when we have to start to measure the fundal height, we're going to start to see them more often. I see. And then the last trimester, obviously, they will be seen face-to-face each appointment. That is not going to monitor the blood pressure. But I think we're not going to see, there's some appointment will be missed. So they will have less appointments. They will still be followed by us over the phone. And if it's necessary, I think we might be able to see them at home, I guess. And then they will have to be responsible and obviously not to come to the appointments in the clinic if they don't feel well. But it's a big change. It's a huge change. And then there's this plan B, which is even less face-to-face, but I really hope we're not going to go to that. But yes, if it's we do have another backup plan. But the antenatal care is changing. And the intrapartum care, as I said, we're offering more home births and the postnatal care. We're going to try to do as much as we can over the phone. And then obviously we'll see, depending on what they need. But we will try to call them before and see what they want and what we can do to try to protect them and us a little bit. I guess.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I keep talking about is how are the midwives taking care of themselves? Do you have a self-care ritual or routine that you want to share with us? What are you doing to keep your spirits up and to keep yourself healthy?
Well, first of all, I try to limit my time, the time I spend on social media, reading about disasters, because it's a constant, it's negativity, and we have to be realistic. Obviously, I'm not in denial, but I feel I don't need more information. I can, if I dedicate, let's say, half an hour a day to the coronavirus situation, that's enough for me to gather the information I need for the day. And then I can make space on my day for other things like taking care of myself, because I think as we are birth keepers, we need to look after people, but to be able to look after people, we have to look after ourselves as well. So I try to vibrate high and just be positive. I spend a lot in my house. I do a lot of meditation. I've got a jar with my partner, and my partner is at home now. He hasn't got a job anymore, I think. So we are trying to write down positive thoughts, and we put them in a jar. And,
Good.
you know,
I
I think
love
that
it.
is nice. We've got our little jar. I've got it here. So
I love it.
this is our positive
Oh, I love it.
thought jar, and we just put like nice things and you know, like little things that help us to just see the positivity. And then I do.
I love it.
I made myself like ginger, turmeric, and pepper and honey juice, and I drink it every day. I've got herbs. I'm a back remedies therapist, so I use back remedies, and I advise lots of my women to use the back remedies as well. Yeah, a very simple remedy is the rescue remedy, because I think if you're scared of something,
We all need it.
just take the rescue remedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have contraindication. The worst case scenario doesn't work, so go with it. I think it's pretty.
Go with it.
A herbalist
pretty
has
awesome.
given me lots of remedies. This amazing herbalist that grows her herbs in her garden, and they're grown with intention. So I tell them. That's it, really. I try to make space for positive things and love in my life as much as I can.
Yeah.
We need each other.
I love it.
We need each other.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We need each other.
We need
thank you
for that.
And yeah, because we love, you know, we can just do it all and gather, ground, use this time we have to just, you know, find our center and our space again. Reconnect with nature if you can, you know, if you're lucky you have a garden, or you can still go outside in nature alone. I know in England it's not allowed anymore, but you know, if you do have the opportunity to live in the countryside, maybe, reconnect.
And even leaning out of a window into the sunshine.
Yeah, just a little bit of sunshine in your face, honestly. That's all it takes. And maybe looking at if you have the possibility to see a sunrise or a sunset, and reconnect with your neighbors, you know, even like with a message, or leave a muffin or a brownie at the doorstep of your neighbor. Just say, I'm here. You're not alone.
Yes.
Little things like that. That's all it takes.
Thank you for that. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Well, I'm so happy to make connection with you and to hear report about both the countries that you are connected to. I wish you well. I hope you take really good care of yourself in the next few weeks. And I hope we can stay in touch. If things change, will you give me an update and we can do this again?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Take good care.
Thank you so much for what you're doing, because this is amazing. Thank you.
Bye.